It was early October. Inspiration was in the air when a sea of pink washed over the nation's capital.
Welcome aboard.
This is Buffalo-Niagara Honor Flight, Mission 21.
Marvelous. Never would have dreamed anything so remarkable.
It's one of the most wonderful experiences I've ever had in my life.
Land of the free because of the brave.
34 veterans from Korea through the Gulf War set off to Washington for the trip of a lifetime. But this mission was like no other. For the first time, a group made up of all women embarked on a 2-day journey of recognition.
I can tell you this, they all had pink shirts on, but they are tough as nails. They have gone out and busted ceilings, and they're finally getting the attention and the credit and the honor that they earned so long ago.
I mean, I've been in tears all day long. They don't call them tears, though. They call them honor flight allergies.
Buffalo's first all-female flight was inspired by Kristen Hanna's book, The Women, which tells the story of a nursing student gone to war during Vietnam. In her book, Kristen wrote, "The women had a story to tell, even if the world wasn't quite yet ready to hear it. And their story began with 3 simple words: we were there." But like the women Kristen wrote about, these women were there. They broke barriers and paved the way for future generations of women, heroes through and through.
I went in 1952, and that was prime time. We got to see lots of changes in folk, different people, how they receive certain things, like people, different color and things like that.
I did IBM work. I was in Seattle, Washington, at a very beautiful base, facing Mount Rainier.
I was in Aberdeen Proving Grounds, Maryland. It was a training school. We served anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 a meal. I loved it.
After school, I was trained at Fort Sam Houston, Texas, the largest burn center of the world. And that was, I walked in a child. It's the weirdest thing. And I walked out an adult.
For Air Force veteran Wendy Coday, this trip carries more weight because she didn't think she'd be around to experience something like it after her time in Desert Storm.
I worked with F-15 fighter jets. I got a lung disease from the burn pits and that. And 5 years ago, as of next month, I will have been a 5-year lung transplant patient. And I'm still here and enjoying this. So this is really special because I didn't think I'd make it.
Air Force veteran Barbara Rogers was on a mission of her own. In 1944, at 21 years old, Barbara's father made 6 trips from ship to shore, providing cover fire to protect the men storming the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. He would pass away 62 years later before ever getting the chance to see his memorial, until now.
Dad, I will love you every day, and then some.
Wearing her white honor guard gloves, Barbara dumped water and sand from Omaha Beach into the World War II Memorial Fountain, a tribute to her hero.
It was almost surreal. It was like my dad had his hand on my shoulder, and I just wanted to make sure that he got the honor that he deserved. He's finally full circle. He's finally able to rest in peace, and I just miss him dearly.
From fond farewells to heartfelt reunions, waiting for Marine veteran Karen Barden in Annapolis, a visit from her loved ones.
I am so blessed, I really am. I got great family. It just warms my heart. It's just beyond belief.
Karen was chosen to be an ambassador for the Marine Corps to get more women to join the few, the proud. The call to serve would ring throughout her own family, echoing all the way down to her grandsons, now midshipmen at the U.S. Naval Academy.
Just having a grandma to look up to, I mean, it's been amazing. It's been instrumental.
Definitely paved the road for us, and definitely a role model to look up to.
Other role models walk a 21-step path of humble reverence. At Arlington National Cemetery, the tomb of the unknown soldier is guarded 24/7. Since 1926, Only 8 women have stood watch over the unknowns as sentinels, including Sergeant Kelly Johnston.
To see the young lady today that was doing the changing of the guard, I'm so proud of her that she got to that point where she could actually do what the men do.
By the ceremonial entrance to Arlington, the Military Women's Memorial honors servicewomen and their contributions to freedom, telling the stories of more than 3 million women who have served since the American Revolution. Every one of them volunteered.
And I was the very first female chief on base and the first female chief in my unit.
I went to NORAD headquarters, Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado Springs, and stayed in a mountain for the whole time. And I was one of 3 in the mountain with I don't know how many men, thousands.
Went on to be in an infantry division and going out to the field, working with all men. I was the only woman.
Servicewomen had to overcome decades of obstacles to get to where they are today. They may not have started on the front lines, but they wore combat boots too.
I was told by the president of the company, "What? You shouldn't put that on your resume that you were in the Army." And I was like, am I supposed to be ashamed? It was crazy.
They were very bitter towards us because they didn't feel we were real veterans because we hadn't served in combat.
We deserve it just as much as the men do. We did jobs, we joined the service, we did our time. We fought for our country.
Of the 36 women part of Mission 21, 26 of them served during the Vietnam conflict. Just south of the Wall of Black Granite, the Vietnam Women's Memorial is the first and only memorial to military women on the National Mall.
It kind of all came back when the first time I was ever thanked for my service, which it was a shock because we never heard that before.
Years of shame, grief, and resentment, corrected by 7 little words. Thank you for your service. Welcome home.
I'd like to thank you.
Thank you for serving in the Army.
Thank you for protecting our country.
Overdue gratitude felt in every embrace, every hand held, and sometimes addressed with a stamp.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting any of this.
During times of hardship, letters from home offered soldiers comfort when they needed it most. Reminiscent of years past, these heroes received one last mail call.
You deserve this recognition and much, much more. I love you so much, Jennifer.
Army veteran Brenda Stinky's time in the service as a medic took her on a 50-year path.
My father was in the first wave at Omaha Beach in Normandy. My brother served in Vietnam in a hospital. And so I just thought the most natural thing for me to do was go in the Army.
She brought her daughter Abby as her guardian, who's been active duty Navy for 14 years.
I was 13 when my grandfather passed away. Before he passed, I told him, don't worry, it's not gonna end with me. And it didn't.
Mothers, daughters, sisters, and wives. Though they come from different branches of the military, these women share a sisterhood of service that extends far beyond the uniforms they wore, a connection rooted in patriotism.
We have had a bond in this last 2 days that no one could ever explain. Some of the conversations I had with other women, just to talk to somebody that understands, because it's hard to talk to other people that has never been in the military because they don't know, but we know.
These valiant warriors feel fully, fight fiercely, and their courage knows no bounds. The trail they've blazed forges on, and now it's up to the next generation of heroes to carry the torch and ignite a trail of their own.
Being the first woman in several areas just made me think that I will pave the way for others.
I feel honored when the younger women say, oh, you know, you paved the way for us, and I think, I did.
What's going to happen is some little girl is going to see all us veterans on TV, and she's going to know that she can do this. Don't let anybody stop your dream.